Well, as typical, I'm going around the island to try and find out what's going on, and I'm rather impressed with some of the grassroots efforts to put more than crumbs out on the Bahamian table, and let's put a pile of something for the whole island that we bring in from the outside. There are all sorts of ideas that are being talked about that, let's say, have come from the bottom, the grassroots of the island, and perhaps some of the people at the top need to get the idea that it's time for the wealth to be distributed. It's time that the Bahamas stop depending upon jobs given by outside entities and start getting some of the wealth that the outside entities are getting here and taking out of here, and the exchange is supposed to be a few jobs. There is sufficient revenue that could be generated by some astute or even just low-level application of common sense to where you can get money. It's like the dance hall. You own the dance hall, but you have to provide the hall to anyone that wants a party for free. They don't have to pay anything to rent your dance hall. They don't have to pay anything to use it. You've got to provide the electricity, the service. You've got to provide the security, and you don't get anything out of it. Why run a dance hall unless you get something? But you need money. You need a source of revenue. And you've got one of the largest money-making opportunities in the world that's being exploited by outside entities, and the people aren't really getting much of anything except being employed in the low-level regions of these businesses. Anytime something opens up in here, local labor should be involved at the going wage that they would pay elsewhere. You need to bring people into work, put people into the management track so that whatever they know, the island will learn how to do the same thing, or they will know what they know. Well, I'm going to see if I can't get some investment dollars down here that will go directly to the people. You in the Bahamas are the hope for the hemisphere. I have great confidence in what's going to happen in these islands.
Today the meeting is really about at Frankie's, going bananas, which is pretty good. The atmosphere is great here. It's pretty good where we sit down, we talk, we ate, and we eat. The food was good too. I got to get that in because it wasn't good. We couldn't talk. Judge Joe Brown actually is here as his role is mentorship. He's actually mentoring the group. Basically, he knows. I guess he feels the stripe because he's coming from the streets. He knows about what's been happening. He's agreed to assist us in legal areas. That's from maybe his expertise, his standpoint from being a judge and a lawyer, and on his political areas. So he's actually showing us the way to go ahead and become entrepreneurs, so that we can teach. We can go there and give a young man $100,000 today. By next week it might be gone. But if you give him, let's say, $100,000 today and show him how to make that happen, how to change that, how to create that, he could be a millionaire in the next 10 years. We talked about stuff like opening up a dive school, maybe taxi plates, unions, whatever, restaurants and bars like this here. We're going to set up with Mr. Bartlett. He's going to return back here again. And by maybe the end of this year, we should already have a couple of businesses open, you see? And then we're going to watch it and see how it builds. I think in the next 10 years, 5 years, we'll see a tremendous change in not only in organizations, but in the Bahamas itself. Because to youths, we need a future. You know what I mean? The 14, 15, 13, 17-year-olds that's our future. And if we don't sit down and try and make a way for that, then, it'll be gone,
This is the second meeting that Judge Brown, who extended the invitation to the young men after meeting them at the summit. He had a conversation with them after the summit and was so impressed. His wife actually said, "The judge wants to meet with you all." And after the first meeting, he said, "These young men are so wise. They can not only change the Bahamas, they can help change the hemisphere." He said what they need is strategy, they need support, they need mentorship, I'm prepared to do it. You will see very soon that there are going to be some specific action steps where they, as we have been saying, you know, it's time for us to break and shift the paradigm of what I call an entitlement culture, but to make that transition to have a culture of earning. At GEMS and the CEO Network, we're working to help the people of the Bahamas understand the full meaning of ownership, which is the effective management of our personal, family, corporate, community, national, global responsibilities. Notice I said global because the dream inside you and me is big enough to touch the world. But if we don't effectively manage our responsibilities, all of our responsibilities today, we will not increase our ownership through investments. And for those of us who may be called to be an entrepreneur, look man, let's don't only depend on the politician. Let's see what we could start with doing ourselves to make a difference. And of course, it's always, as we did with the Ownership Summit, it is always so important, wherever we can, to secure partnerships with the politicians, with the churches, with the unions, with the different organizations, civic organizations that want to be a part of building our country. It is time for us to unite in one direction, and that direction is economic independence. And so let's lift each other up and help each other succeed when we can see anyone, any man or woman, black or white, BLB or F&M, say, look, I am prepared to work. I am prepared to commit to excellence. Let's give them access to opportunity. Let them feel a part of the process, and they will protect our country.